Hi guys, Ryu here, and let's continue with our rifle. So let's talk about the scope, shall we? We need some more details in here. So first of all, we need some knobs for adjusting and some buttons, for adjusting the scope options. So we're gonna grab a cylinder and let's keep it at 40. I think 40 should be, maybe 44 should be fine. So RX 90, and let's scale it, and let's bring it here. And I'm gonna bring it in here somewhere and bring it on Y outside. Now, let me think. What we could do, we could actually make it a little bit larger, but that's gonna be a bit too large. I don't want to make this scope appear, larger than it is, because it's already huge. And I want it to be big, but I want it to be ridiculous. So let's actually apply auto smooth in here and shade smooth. Same here. Okay, and this one too. We didn't do it before, so we might just do it now. And this one too. Before I do anything in here, I still want some kind of a casing on top of it. So I'm thinking that maybe I could run, let's see here, like this. So let's grab a cube and let's put it in here, and let's drop an edge in here. Okay, and split it, and let's grab this face and let's move it to on the x-axis like this. Okay, and let's grab this edge. All right, and move it on this one, GG, like this. Okay, and Control slash, there we go. And let's apply this boolean. Let's free the data, and then we can apply the boolean. So apply it in here and apply it in here. Okay. Oh, we don't need it. Just actually, let's hide it into cutters. That's pretty cool. So now let me see. I would like some kind of a casing on this one, like a mount. So let's actually grab this shelling and go to face mode. It's solidified from the inside, right? Okay, fine. So Shift D and P to its own selection. So now what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to make this larger. Okay, so it's going to be on top of this old one. Okay, so sort of sitting on top of it. Let me see that. Let me actually grab both of them and see. Yeah, that will do. That's fine. So let's make it thicker, right? There we go. And we can simply apply the other booleans. So simply apply the booleans. I don't mind applying these. Okay. And we need to fix this a little bit because it's a bit of a junk here. So let's just simply delete these verts and we're gonna be fine. Although deleting these verts might be problematic. Although, you know what, just combine these and gonna be fine. This one is okay. And this one needs to go here and be fine. Alright, so now let's go back and let's see what we got here. So we're gonna create two shapes, right? One is gonna be here and one is gonna be here. And this one in the middle. Okay, so let's go to, is this not too thick? I think it's a little bit too thick. Make it a bit thinner. And let's grab cube. Let's see if we could actually slosh it in here. I'm literally playing with shape now, guys. I'm trying to see what's gonna work for me, what will not. This is not bad. I kind of like this. And then what we could do is simply add another cube here and cut in here, this in this side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend this cube on X, and let's move it up front so we can see what we're doing. And then we're simply going to cut it in here. So we're going to chamfer it, right? But we're going to move this chamfer in a way that will align with this edge, which means we need to move this one a little bit higher. So GY and move it higher like this. Okay. So I want this to be more or less parallel to one another. Something like this, okay? Move it a little bit closer here. So in the middle. And now we need to apply scale to it. And let's chamfer these guys. And this one too, okay? So Control B. And then let's bevel them. And we simply cut it up. Okay, perfect. And now let's see. This is pretty good. So let's remove this. And I'm going to grab another cube and make it smaller. Grab it in here. And make it longer but narrower. And put it somewhere here. So I want it to be more or less on the same height as this cut in here, and move it outside, and then apply the scale and the same story. Shift G direction and Control B, and we are good. Perfect. So let's remove it too. Cutters, nice. Now the knobs. We need one here for sure. So let's cut it in. So it's going to be auto smooth and street smooth and SY and Shift D and make it a little bit larger and literally cut it through. This one's gonna be smaller and we're gonna drive it in. Okay, so that's one. And let's apply scale and go to face mode. And let's go to chamfer mode, right? And we're gonna add some switch in here, but later. And I want to add one more on the top, but something different. So where is this face? Here. So Shift D and move it up. And we want to separate it into its own selection and move it down like this. And maybe solidify it a bit less, okay? Something like this, okay? And definitely make it shorter, maybe like this. And then I'm going to drive one edge in here and one edge in here. All right, and then we're going to extrude it like this down. You see that? Downwards. So let me go to local mode. So you extrude it and do something like this, okay? And then Z down. And we can do the same thing on the other side. So grab this edge, simply E, Z, and you're done, okay? And these are all quads, right? So, but you know, we could actually just bevel these, you know? So simply select these edges and just, you know, bevel them like this. This will work too. We don't really need to subdivide this. I mean, we could, but it's not really that necessary. Just bevel it and you're gonna be fine. All right, kind of like a clamp on top of it. So, and we're gonna lift it a little bit so there's a separation. Bit of kind of separation in between. You see that? It's gonna look pretty cool. And of course we'll need to cut it. So let's go to orthographic and let's grab a cube. Let's make it smaller and let's make it in here and let's make it really small and wider and narrower. And let's bring it up. And let's bring it down. And let's bring it into place. Let's make it narrower. And put it in the middle. And slice it. So now let's move it a little bit to the front. Somewhere here. Right. And apply scale. And chamfer it too. Actually, you know what? We can actually round it up. It's fine. And simply select everything and Shift D and move it in here. Rotate it on X, holding Control, and GX, and simply move it in here. And we are good. This is a bit too deep. So GX, don't go too deep. Yeah, something like this will do. Okay. Let's see if we're not clipping any bevels. We might be clipping bevels here. Hang on a second, guys. I can't see. Because I'm in a solid mode. Yes, we are clipping bevels. Okay. That's dangerous, which means we need to run some loops, okay? So let's run some loops and, you know, we should be fine. So let's bring this loop to the very beginning and this loop to the very end, okay? So we can split them just in case we need loops. So this should do, all right? And now let's go to the top view and let's grab another cube and move it in here, make it smaller, make it more narrow, drop it in here and grab these two edges and Control B, but chamfer it, and grab this face and SX, scale it, and move it a little bit outside, and simply, and we're good. Okay, nice. We could actually mirror this cutter across. You can mirror either shapes or cutters. Same thing, really. There you go. So that's mirrored. And let's apply the mirror because that's what we want. Nice. So that's our scope. Scope looks really savage. I mean, really savage. So it might be actually too savage. So we might, you know, make it a bit, tinsy-winsy a bit smaller, but we can do it later. Anyway, let's see. It's not a scope, it's a TV. It's a TV. But it's cool, you know, it's actually, I don't know, but I kind of like it because it looks stylized. Maybe actually it's not too big, but it's massive, you know. This scope is like a telescope. You could watch stars with it, which is pretty cool. We're gonna do something cool in here, though. Let me think. So we got two levels now, right? One on the top, one on the bottom. So you can actually split it into two kind of screens. So SX and do something like this, and actually let me think. Let's actually insert it, okay, and insert it inwards and do something like this. Insert it again and then extrude it on x-axis. Okay, and see how we're looking. We're looking good, and we're definitely gonna have to soften this up. The only problem is gonna be bevel outlining, because we're in a bevel outline situation here. So we could actually scale it inwards like this. See what's gonna happen, and then we can grab this one, the bottom one, and do similar thing. So move it on X and do something like this. This looks pretty cool. And we will run this up, okay? So what we're gonna do is grab this whole piece, okay? And we're gonna select it with Control plus P on selection. And now we can have fun with it. So before we do anything, we need to secure this this back here. So press F to fill it with face. And we're gonna play with this one, okay? So this one, what we want more rounded edges, okay? So let's select these edges and actually round them up like this. And I think we should be peachy. So let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Now I wish we could have, you know, these top edges a bit more rounder, yeah? So what we could do, we could actually select these edges. I don't know if it's gonna work well for us, but we can try. And dissolve them. No, it didn't work well. Because we have bottom one selected. One more time. Hold Alt and Shift and simply select these loops in here and deselect one in the middle, okay? And then dissolve edges. Perfect. And now let's see how we're looking. Well, we're not looking super hot, but we're looking hot-ish. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to mirror this across itself, right? So flip it and apply it, and then we're going to remove the middle line, and then we're going to move this one a little bit higher to equalize it, and then we're going to fix this bevel on the top, okay? So we're going to run the bevel across all these edges, right? You need to select all of them, otherwise it's not gonna work. And perfect. And that's much better, you see, much more interesting shape, if I dare say so. We could actually chamfer this, I think. Yeah, this will work. And same with this one, we're gonna chamfer this. There you go. Nice. So that's that. And this one. So same situation, P, its own selection, grab this one, come on, insert face, F, and then select this, F, select these two and round them up, and then insert once, insert second time, G, X, move it inside, insert again, move it outside on X and scale it. And then we can actually, let me see, did we hotline the bevel? We did. Alright, so instead of doing this one, let's go to front view. Where's his face? So back view, sorry. We're gonna scale it. So insert it a little bit, just a teensy weensy bit. Yeah, but you need to be in orthographic, and you need to be in you know, directly in the face view, right? So scale it like this, and this will prevent hotlining. The bevel is really dangerous, so close. See that, like this one? This bevel, we could actually move it, GG, and move it a little bit here, manually, just to relax them, because they're really close. Come on, select the whole edge, GG. And this one, GG. And this one too. Come on, GG. Yeah, see, it's just a little bit more relaxed, you know. It's a bit more relaxed. I don't know if it's gonna work for us well, but we could simply introduce some loops in here too. There's something happening here, it's weird. One more time, GG. 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 And GG. There we go. Drop some loops here to relax it, and everything is peachy. Alright, and now we could actually, you know, insert this a bit more, maybe. No, we can't. Fine, extrude it on X and simply scale it down. Are we done? Alright. Does it look good? No, it doesn't. So we're gonna leave it like this. We're gonna think about it later. You know, but this is okay. This is okay. I'm fine with this. And this side doesn't really need much, to be honest. All we need is just a little bit of a thickening for the monitor. So insert it twice and G, XX, and just move it outside and make it like a screen. And we literally be done. So we need some probably buttons or something on the side here still. So maybe I'm gonna insert 2 more buttons. So what I'm gonna do is create like another cube and scale it, bring it in here, scale it on X, scale it some more on Z, drop it in here, and then GY, bring it out, and Alt X scale, and select all the edges. So direction, Control B, bevel it, and then Control minus to cut it. GY, I want to make it shallow, okay? Really shallow. Hide it. And then we can actually commit to it. So let's actually commit to it. So let's move all the booleans above the solidify. Quite a few of them at the moment. And literally apply them all. Okay. So just apply all the booleans and leave the solidify alone. Because now we can actually apply a bevel to it above the solidify, 3 segments, angle, and remove the clamping and bevel it. Are we beveling the right thing? Let me see this. Because the solidify is not applied. Solidify needs to be above the bevel, my bad, sorry. So let's make it a little bit less crazy and add weighted normals. There we go. Yeah, looks good. It looks really nice. I like it. So this cut here, where is this cut here? Where did it go? Alt H, do it again. Control minus, there we go. And move it above and apply the boolean. And wait, did I apply bevel? That's not what I meant. I wanted to apply boolean, my bad. So this one needs to go above everything, and then needs to be applied, and then everything should be fine. Wait a minute. Huh? Hang on a second. That's a boolean too. Let's delete those two. See what's going on here. Okay, so what we need now is, not sure why this boolean disappeared, but we're gonna find out. So let's grab these both, and let's see. Weighted normals. This is solidify. Let's apply it too. And that's probably was the problem. So boolean, and then let's move this boolean on top of weighted normals and on top of bevel, and it's being hotlined now. You see that? So to avoid this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna run an edge in the middle through this shape like this. Okay, and it should be peachy. So let's see how we're looking. This bevel, basically what's happening, right, is just to this boolean is too shallow for this bevel width. So what we could do is move this boolean inwards a little bit, but still here is something. This edge. Wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? This edge went a very weird way. Let's try this again, shall we? So what I want, this is crazy. What I want is these two edges to combine. There we go. And then I want to remove these because that's insane. And that's, by the way, it's causing the hotlining. So apparently I can't remove this edge. So let's move it a little bit lower. There we go. And then let's try to remove this edge. Oh, this edge supports this one. Right. Okay, fine. So I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna run an edge across here, okay? Like this, right? And we're gonna run edge. Let's clean it up properly, shall we? Right. And then we don't need this, okay? And then we don't need these two either. And we don't need this one. Perfect. Now everything should be peachy. Okay, good. All right, and you know what? We actually, instead of doing this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna slash it. Okay, so we're gonna create a sort of a panel. So let's move it above, and same here. On this one, let's move it above. Right, and we're gonna have kind of like a panel, you see. That's much better. Okay, so we can move this panel a little bit to the top. So GZ and move it somewhere here. And what we could do, we could reduce the bevel for the panel. So the panel could have a smaller bevel, like something, for example, 0001, and be a little bit more shallow, which is cool. And we could actually move it inside. So grab this this thing, and let's actually apply it. Okay, so let's apply the boolean, remove this data, apply the boolean, and apply the boolean. Now we can do is simply connect this face and move it inside. So GY, and move it just a teensy-weensy bit inside. Okay, don't move it too much because it's gonna start hotlining itself. Yeah, because it's just thin. It's a very thin geo. Okay, so see what I mean? So if you push it too deep, the bevel's gonna overshoot itself. So don't go too deep. And now we could, you know, we could actually drop some. We could drop some buttons on it, but before we do that, let's Shift D this, move it to the top, scale it, move it down to here, and GY, and move it here and cut it. Okay, and move it a little bit to the top. It's a little bit too deep, something like this. And we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. So Shift D, Z, and move it to the bottom. Okay, a bit more. Perfect. And now we can move them again to the top. So it's a one boolean, so all we need to do is apply it. All right, so we can hide them now to cutters, right? And this one too. Okay, and this one. Okay, so now we can add some, you know, like buttons in here or something. So I'm not going to be detailing them superbly well. I'm just going to sort of indicate that there are buttons there, because this is not a final stage. If you overdo details on your initial stage, or you know, like you do it mid details and you start scale it, apply scale, if you you know, go too crazy with details, it's just gonna mess up the module. Okay, you need to work systematically. So Shift D, and you know, move it downwards here maybe, and make it a bit smaller, and maybe rotate it, or actually no, move it somewhere here, and one more here, lower, something like this, and just move them in, GY, and move them in. There you go. And this should do. Okay, so this should be our scope, more or less. I mean, we're not done yet with it, but you know, as I said, we're gonna be moving to different places. And I could actually slash some details in here too, because I kind of feel like it. So let's make this cube really small and bring it in here, and make it narrow and small, and bring it in here. And we can actually extend it all across, because why not? Apply scale and select this edge, Shift G, direction, bevel. It's the same, you know, modus operandi all the time. Controls minus, and let's grab this one, edit mode, A to select everything, Shift D, X, and move it in here. And in fact, you know what? I'm gonna move it all the way here, because why not? Should be cool. And move it to cutters, right? Looking cool. Actually, does it? Yeah, it does. It does kind of funky. So, and the same thing we could do here, but here we're gonna do something else. We're gonna select this edge, and we're going to Control B it and create a chamfer like this, okay? It's gonna create like a cool separation in this area. It's gonna look cool. And I think that's enough of details for the scope for the time being. We can finish it later. But so far we look good. Now we're gonna move on to the front part of this rifle and work on this part, okay? Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.